Behind every masterpiece lies a mind that defies time, a vision that transcends the ordinary, and a legacy that endures centuries. And perhaps, no other figure in history encapsulates this truth better than a man whose name is synonymous with genius, Leonardo da Vinci. In the heart of the Louvre, surrounded by whispers of admiration and awe, a portrait holds the gaze of millions. But what if I told you that the Mona Lisa's smile is just the tip of the iceberg? That the true genius of Leonardo da Vinci lies not only in his art but in his groundbreaking discoveries, his insatiable curiosity, and his unquenchable thirst for knowledge that fueled the Renaissance Revolution? Welcome to the world of Leonardo da Vinci, where science, art, and imagination collided to change the course of history. Our story begins in 1452, in the small village of Vinci, nestled in the rolling hills of Tuscany. Here, an illegitimate child named Leonardo was born to a notary, Ser Piero, and a peasant woman, Caterina. Unencumbered by the rigid expectations of a noble birth, Leonardo's childhood was a canvas of curiosity. The world around him was his classroom. The flight of birds, the flow of water, the anatomy of plants, each detail captivated the young Leonardo. But it wasn't just nature that caught his eye. It was the idea that everything in the natural world was connected by a series of patterns and principles. This insatiable curiosity was not confined to the sketchbook. It would soon spill over into every aspect of his life, driving him to explore the realms of art, science, engineering, and beyond. At the age of 14, Leonardo moved to Florence, the epicenter of the Renaissance, to apprentice under the master artist Andrea del Verrocchio. Here, his genius began to take shape, as he honed his skills in painting, sculpture, and metalwork. But it was more than just technical skill that set Leonardo apart. It was his ability to see the world differently, to observe, to question, and to imagine the impossible. And it was this blend of artistry and scientific inquiry that would propel him to the forefront of the Renaissance movement. The Renaissance was more than just an era of artistic achievement. It was a revolution in thought, a time when old ideas were challenged and new ones emerged. It was a time of rebirth, a cultural, artistic, and intellectual revival that swept across Europe. And in the heart of this revolution was Leonardo da Vinci, whose work embodied the spirit of the age. Florence, under the patronage of the powerful Medici family, became a hub of artistic and intellectual activity. It was here that Leonardo, along with other great minds like Michelangelo and Raphael, pushed the boundaries of what was possible, blending art, science, and philosophy into a new way of thinking. Leonardo's paintings were not just works of art, they were studies in light, anatomy, and perspective. He delved into the mechanics of the human body, dissecting corpses in secret to understand muscles, bones, and organs. His anatomical studies were so detailed, so precise, that they remained unmatched for centuries. But Leonardo's genius didn't stop there. He was equally fascinated by the natural world, constantly sketching plants, animals, and geological formations, each drawing a blend of artistry and scientific observation. His notebooks are a testament to his restless mind, page after page filled with sketches, inventions, and observations. From the mechanics of flight to the movement of water, from military engineering to the study of optics, Leonardo's inquiries knew no bounds. One of his most iconic works, The Vitruvian Man, exemplifies his belief in the harmony between art and science. It is not just a drawing, it is a study of proportion, a reflection of Leonardo's quest to understand the mathematical principles that govern the human form. But Leonardo was not alone. He was part of a larger movement, a renaissance of thought, where art, science, and philosophy intertwined. He exchanged ideas with contemporaries like Michelangelo and Raphael, each pushing the boundaries of what was possible. Florence became a melting pot of ideas, where artists, scientists, and thinkers converged, and at the center of it all was Leonardo, whose work not only reflected the ideals of the Renaissance but helped shape them. The ideas born in Florence did not stay there. The Renaissance spread across Europe, reaching cities like Rome, Venice, and Paris, where it influenced artists, architects, and thinkers. Leonardo himself traveled extensively, bringing his ideas to new audiences and absorbing new influences along the way. Leonardo's influence can be seen in the work of later Renaissance artists, such as Titian, Caravaggio, and Bernini. These artists built on the foundations laid by Leonardo, pushing the boundaries of realism, emotion, and dramatic intensity in their own work. The Renaissance was not just about art, it was about the intersection of disciplines. Artists studied anatomy to improve their depictions of the human form. Scientists used artistic techniques to illustrate their discoveries. This interdisciplinary approach is what made the Renaissance such a revolutionary period in history, and Leonardo da Vinci was its most brilliant exponent. The Renaissance's impact on modern culture, science, and education cannot be overstated. The period's emphasis on humanism, individual potential, and the pursuit of knowledge laid the groundwork for the Enlightenment and the modern world. Leonardo's work embodies these ideals, and his legacy continues to inspire and challenge us today. Leonardo da Vinci was more than just an artist. He was a polymath, someone whose intellect and creativity spanned multiple disciplines. His inventions were the product of a mind that saw the world not just as it was, but as it could be. Yet, these weren't just fleeting ideas. They were reflections of an underlying principle that guided Leonardo's work, the belief that everything in nature is interconnected. Consider his flying machines. Leonardo didn't simply dream of flight. He meticulously studied the mechanics of birds, how their wings cut through the air, how their muscles worked in harmony. His designs, such as the ornithopter and the aerial screw, were the first serious attempts to replicate the principles of natural flight in man-made machines. He understood that flight wasn't just about wings, it was about balance, lift, and thrust. The aerial screw, often considered a precursor to the modern helicopter, is a fascinating example of Leonardo's forward thinking. Although the technology of his time couldn't bring it to life, the concept itself was revolutionary. It showcased his understanding of the principles of physics and aerodynamics long before they were formally defined. But Leonardo's imagination wasn't limited to the skies. His mind ventured into the complexities of warfare as well. The Renaissance was a time of frequent conflicts, and Leonardo's patrons often sought his expertise in designing military devices. His armored tank, with its conical design and rotating cannons, was one such innovation, an early vision of modern mechanized warfare. Imagine the fear such a machine would have instilled on the battlefield. Though it was never built, the design reveals Leonardo's acute understanding of mechanics, engineering, and human psychology in warfare. He knew that the mere presence of such a machine could turn the tide of battle. Leonardo's curiosity also extended beneath the waves. He designed diving suits intended for underwater exploration, complete with breathing tubes connected to floating corks on the surface. He even conceptualized an early form of the submarine, showcasing his ability to think not only in terms of what was, but what could be. While these inventions remained on paper during his lifetime, they are now seen as precursors to modern underwater technology. His work on hydraulics, water flow, and the movement of fluids laid the foundation for advancements in engineering and environmental science. Yet, perhaps his most profound contributions were to the field of anatomy. Leonardo's anatomical drawings are not just art, they are scientific studies, the result of countless dissections and observations. He explored the human body with the same intensity as he did the natural world, understanding that to capture the essence of life, one must first understand its form. His anatomical studies were centuries ahead of their time. Leonardo's drawings of the human heart, muscles, and organs are so detailed and accurate that they could easily be mistaken for modern medical illustrations. His work provided insights into the structure and function of the human body that would not be fully appreciated until the development of modern medicine. Today, Leonardo's anatomical drawings are revered by medical professionals as some of the most accurate depictions of the human body ever created. His work has been studied by generations of doctors, surgeons, and anatomists, influencing the way we understand and treat the human body. Leonardo was also fascinated by mathematics and geometry, seeing in them the underlying principles of the universe. He believed that everything in nature followed a mathematical order, and his studies of proportion and symmetry reflect this belief. His drawings of polyhedra, spirals, and other geometric shapes reveal a mind that sought to understand the very fabric of reality. Leonardo's exploration of geometry influenced not just his art, but also architecture and design. His work on proportion and symmetry laid the groundwork for the Renaissance's architectural achievements and continues to inspire modern architects and designers today. The Mona Lisa. Perhaps no other painting has been the subject of so much fascination, so much mystery. But what is it about this portrait that has captivated the world for over 500 years? Is it her smile, that enigmatic expression that seems to change with every glance? Or is it her eyes, which follow you no matter where you stand? Perhaps it is the delicate interplay of light and shadow, or the almost imperceptible use of sfumato, a technique Leonardo perfected to create depth and realism. Leonardo was obsessed with capturing the human soul on canvas. He studied facial expressions, the movement of muscles beneath the skin, the way light plays on different surfaces. The Mona Lisa is the culmination of these studies, a portrait that goes beyond mere likeness to capture something deeper, something almost divine. The identity of the Mona Lisa has been the subject of endless debate. Some say she was Lisa Gherardini, the wife of a wealthy Florentine merchant. Others suggest she might be a self-portrait of Leonardo himself, or perhaps an idealized representation of womanhood. But in the end, does it really matter? The Mona Lisa's power lies not in who she was, but in what she represents: the mystery of human existence, the fleeting nature of life, and the eternal quest for meaning. Yet, the Mona Lisa is just one of Leonardo's many masterpieces. The Last Supper, painted on the walls of a convent in Milan, is another of his iconic works. It captures the moment of Christ's betrayal with such drama and emotion that it has been studied, replicated, and revered for centuries. The composition of the Last Supper is a masterclass in balance and harmony. The figures are arranged in a way that guides the viewer's eye towards the central figure of Christ, whose calm demeanor contrasts with the turmoil of the surrounding disciples. Each face tells a story, each gesture speaks volumes, and the use of perspective draws the viewer into the scene, making them a part of the drama unfolding before them. Leonardo's religious paintings stand out not just for their technical brilliance, but for their humanity. He brought a level of psychological depth to his subjects that was rare in his time. His figures are not just holy icons, they are real people, with real emotions and inner lives. This humanism is what makes his work so relatable, so timeless. But Leonardo's artistic talents were not confined to painting. He was also a skilled sculptor, though few of his sculptures have survived. He designed intricate reliefs, studied the principles of architecture, and even planned entire cities based on his ideas of harmony and proportion. His vision extended beyond the canvas, encompassing the very spaces in which we live and move. The influence of Leonardo's architectural ideas can still be seen in the cities and buildings of today. His emphasis on balance, symmetry, and proportion continues to inspire architects and urban planners, reminding us that beauty and functionality are not mutually exclusive, but can and should coexist. Leonardo da Vinci's legacy is one that transcends time and space. His influence can be seen in the fields of art, science, engineering, and even modern-day technology. His notebooks, filled with ideas and sketches, continue to inspire generations of thinkers and creators. But perhaps more than anything, Leonardo's legacy is a testament to the power of curiosity. The idea that the world is full of mysteries waiting to be explored, and that the pursuit of knowledge is a never-ending journey. From the soaring heights of his flying machines to the enigmatic smile of the Mona Lisa, Leonardo da Vinci's work is a reminder that creativity knows no bounds. His life was a testament to the idea that art and science are not separate disciplines, but rather two sides of the same coin, each enriching the other. As we look back on Leonardo's life and work, we are reminded of the enduring power of imagination, the force that drives innovation, fuels discovery, and shapes the course of history. In a world that is constantly changing, Leonardo da Vinci's legacy remains as relevant today as it was 500 years ago. Today, students, artists, and scientists from all over the world continue to study Leonardo's work, applying his ideas in new and innovative ways. His legacy is alive in the classrooms, laboratories, and studios where the next generation of thinkers and creators are learning to see the world through his eyes. From medical imaging technology that builds on his anatomical studies to flight technology inspired by his designs, Leonardo's influence can be seen in the most advanced technologies of today. His ideas, once considered too visionary for his time, are now part of the fabric of our modern world. And so, the story of Leonardo da Vinci continues to captivate us, centuries after his time. His genius, his curiosity, and his relentless pursuit of knowledge have left an indelible mark on our world. But the story doesn't end here. As we continue to explore, discover, and create, we are all, in a way, following in Leonardo's footsteps, pushing the boundaries of what is possible, seeking to understand the world around us, and leaving our own mark on history. If you've enjoyed this journey through the life and legacy of Leonardo da Vinci, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, World Storytellers. We'll continue to bring you more stories of history's greatest minds, their discoveries, and the revolutions that changed the world. And now, we'd love to hear from you. What do you think was Leonardo da Vinci's greatest contribution to the world? Was it his art, his inventions, or something else entirely? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going.